It is currently 28 degrees. Up next, we've got Stayed on Him by Terry, and you're listening to your station, 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. It was on this day in the year 1883 that North American railroads created time zones, which has gone on to reshape global life as we know it today. American and Canadian railroads enacted time zones in 1883. That's it for me, guys. You can catch me on Sunday from 10 to midnight and on Wednesday from 9 to 10. You're listening to your station 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. That was Be All Right, and you're listening to 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. So my least favorite meat during the holiday season is ham. I just never gotten around ham. It's just not my thing. I've never loved it. So I'm just going to continue to stick away with that and focus on that turkey amongst other things. You guys love ham? I don't know. Up next, we've got How Far by Tasha Layton. You're listening to your station, 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. With a look at your Fortress forecast, I'm Brian Weah. The temperature is currently 23 degrees. Expect temperatures to stay within the low 20s in the coming hours. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 44 and a low of 23. On Tuesday, we have a high of 48 and a low of 26. And Wednesday, a high of 53 and a low of 30. You're listening to your station, 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. The answer to our trivia question of what year did Thanksgiving become a national holiday in the United States was the year 1941 on November 26. Franklin Delano Roosevelt made Thanksgiving a national holiday on November 26, 1941. Up next, we've got God Really Loves Us by Crowder featuring Dante Bowe, and you're listening to your station 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. It is currently 23 degrees. Up next, we've got Never Been a Moment by Micah Tyler, and you're listening to your station 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. That was Apollo LTD, and you're listening to your station 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. With a look at your Fortress forecast, I'm Brian Weah. The temperature is currently 26 degrees. Expect temperatures to stay in the mid-20s in the coming hours. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 45 and a low of 26. On Tuesday, we're looking at a high of 46 and a low of 35. There will be a 40% chance of rain that day. And on Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 49 and a low of 39. You're listening to your station, 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. The answer to our trivia question of who is the first American woman to fly to space is Sally Ride. Yes, the first American woman to fly to space is Sally Ride. She joined NASA in 1978 and went to space in 1983. We'll have more trivia questions coming in the next hour. Up next, we've got Go Tell It on the Mountain by Jason Gray and Carlton, and you're listening to your station 94.3 The Fortress, creating community. With your WIW News, I'm Brian Weah. The former general manager of an Elkhart business has been sentenced to more than a year in prison for stealing nearly $1 million from the company and lying to the IRS. 45-year-old Christina Harshberger pled guilty to wire fraud and filing false tax returns, according to the Department of Justice. Between 2015 and 2018, Harshberger racked up personal charges using a company credit card. After prison, she will face 1 year of supervised release and must pay more than $800,000 in restitution and nearly $250,000 to the IRS. A person from Chicago will be in prison for 4 years for drug-related crimes. 24-year-old Chanel Medina Hippolyte pled guilty to possession with intent to distribute fentanyl, according to the Department of Justice. In 2019, police pulled Medina Hippolyte over and found more than a kilogram of fentanyl in the car. After prison, they will face 5 years of supervised release. With WIWU, I'm Brian Weah. You just heard Sunday Morning Feeling by Apollo LTD, and you're listening to 94.3.